Hello everyone, welcome back to this episode of Bitcoin Trade here. This is Bit BitcoinCharts.com, and there's a link that you can go to. I think it's under Markets, and basically you're able to see all the feeds that they've got coming in on all the different markets. They'll start with the largest volume. Apparently, Bitsy is the largest volume. Then it's Bitstamp, Mt. Gox, top 3 U.S. dollars. And then you got they're still Bitcoin China is still alive, I guess. So there's the volume right there, and then you see the volumes really start dropping. And some of them are also like euros, Bitsy euro, Bitsy whatever ruble or whatever they have. That's why I call it the Russian side. I mean, they're trading rubles. So, but you see Mt. Gox too. They got the euro, the yen, and different things. Anyways, this kind of gives you an idea here. And another thing is, like I said, you could take advantage of looking at what other markets are doing, and hopefully that's going to help your trade. Like the example I gave from the previous episode of looking at the different charts from the 3 different, Bitsy, Bitstamp, and Mt. Gox. Look, if you compare the charts, one may move a little bit before the other, and that might give you a little heads up on your buying signal or selling signal. And it's also kind of interesting to compare the 3 markets for the same Bitcoin. As a matter of fact, all these markets. But the point in showing this is you'll see all the markets. This is like a 30-day chart, and you'll notice like they're very similar, but some are a little different. And if you can get a good sense of what's going on in the world of Bitcoin, you can kind of see whether it's going to pull above or below that average line, which this is the average price right here, 30-day average. It's very natural for a price to move up and then down below the 30-day average and move up and then down below. So don't freak out when you see this being all red. Matter of fact, if you're like me, you'll be very happy to see this go red, because that it's cheaper to buy Bitcoins. And if you're long Bitcoin, you don't mind a crash every now and then, because it's going to go back up. Well, it's going to go back, it's going to go to infinity, right? So it doesn't really matter. What I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to get more Bitcoins. And so, moving up and down below the 30-day average, very normal. Of course, but right now it's all green because it's above the 30-day average, and you can see how they kind of similarly bounce, except for this one in particular. It's just never really reached that below that average, and it's actually kind of moving upwards now versus the other index. But you gotta keep in mind, some of these indexes or indices, look at the volume on this. Quite a bit still in whatever millions of euros, yens, or whatever, but compared to the US dollar, it's not much, but it does help. So if you're looking for an overall consensus of Bitcoin market around the world, I think this is going to help you, and then hopefully that's going to help your either short-term or long-term trade in Bitcoin. So hopefully that helps, and I'm just letting you know, this is some of the free tools that I use to make my trades. And I have to tell you, doing a little research before you commit yourself to a trade, or how you feel about a way a price action would go, doesn't hurt. And increasing your chances of depending on what you want to do, more Bitcoins or more US dollars, but you want to gain as much as you can, either or the other. So feel free to use this. I recommend it. It does help, because you might see like this is not a very good market. So I mean, I show one red here, but you might see other currencies and other markets start turning red before the other ones. And so that, you know, it might help you with your trades or preserving your investment. So anyways, this is another short one. I'll probably do a little burst here and burst there, just to keep everyone informed. And if anything happens, I'll definitely keep you up to date. So till then, please tune in to the next episode, and bye now. Sorry about that. I guess it was kind of short, and I might as well just go ahead and add this on to it. This is the Mt. Gox 15 minutes on Bitcoin Wisdom, and what you're seeing is 15 minutes in the price here, and you see some lines here which are really conveniently showing up in a correlating way that seems to indicate that and I know where the price is going to be all the time. But I need to warn you in advance, if you know anything about lines and all that it only makes sense because I put those lines there. Okay, so don't think I can tell the future. Okay, but what I can do is I'll back up a little bit and I'll show you what I did with the lines and when I put the lines, and maybe how you can do a short-term trade. Okay. So as I back up, I'm backing up to 1 hour, and you're probably still seeing a good pattern here, where it seems like I knew exactly where the bottom and the top would be. But again, I'm going to reiterate, I put those lines there so it makes sense. But I'll tell you when and where I put those lines, and how I can maybe predict at least the next hour to 5 hours. Okay. So as I back up, you're seeing more lines, and it's kind of now making a little bit more sense. Remember I said when currencies, my experience with Forex and all that, currencies tend to trade in a trend for a very long period of time, and they keep going, and when they move, that's when you have to have some trading experience. So here, as I back up to the 6 hour and then 12 hour. Okay, so again, using lines, using other methods of buying and selling signals. What I've done here is, as you know from the previous episode, I mentioned that this is becoming the support line, which it is. But this is a recent line here, and how I got this line is I took the last two lows, which would be this low and that low right there, and made a line, and it came out going like this. And then this is, of course, the top to top right here, and this line are these two highs coming in. So now you know where I got these lines and when I put these lines. So this line and this line, these are all recent. So as soon as that hit a low and went back up, I put a line right there. And this is what I had before, and I'm seeing a little correlation here as far as the uptrend and now the sideways going. And although this part is going up, it's still a downtrending, looks like a downtrending line. As you see here, it seems to fit in really well with this top. This is the up, the top, and the bottom. It just seems to just flow in that channel. I know it's not exactly, but as you see, this price might go up a little bit more, readjusting this line to make it more reflective of something of a parallel channel here. So what I'm trying to say is, I'm seeing a direction, I'm seeing a channel that's going into a going down direction. So if you zoom in, you'll start seeing a lot of correlation here, and it's starting to make a lot of sense on how the price action moved. Okay, so that's my top on this line, and if you know anything about channels, they move within each channel. So there might be several channels in here. There might be another channel like right here or something, but they move between channels and lines, okay, between each channels within the main channel. So as I zoom in, you'll start seeing some of those, some of that price action there. And so what you're seeing here now, it's starting to come a little clear that this line here was the sideways trend, and it's now broken through. And because that low and that low makes this line come through, now you're seeing a channel, a new channel forming on the down right here. Okay. So let me zoom in a little bit more and see what needs to be done here. So as soon as this high was reached, I went ahead and made another line here to here because it looked like it was matching up with this line here. And sure enough, it looks like a nice little parallel line going through. Okay. And so once I did that, I noticed that these price movements here are matching up to that resistance. So I'm at the 2 hour, or I'm at the 2 hour now, moving into the 1 hour. And now you're starting to really see what's happening here. So that was a sideways support line that broke down, made this new low, which caused this line, and now you're seeing a nice little channel as you zoom in here. And then it bounced back up. So this new low represents a new possible downward channel. And now you're seeing it's bouncing back up, because now what I'm seeing is a lot of traders are looking at two different channels here. One going sideways upwards and the other going downwards. And so you're going to see a lot of trades being done with these supports and resistance here, like moving around, like you see exactly right here. So it's going up, it's hitting this resistance, and now let me move to the half hour, and you're really seeing how the price is moving between these support and resistance lines. So it's really testing this line, and you can start seeing where everyone's sell orders and buy orders are. And there's a really strong, very strong sell order right in here, matching up to the line. If it can't break through this line right here, it's going to go down, and it may bounce at this support, which is the sideways trending line. Now if it breaks this line and goes down here, it's pretty much downtrending, a slow downtrend, but a downtrend. In order for this to go up to maintain an uptrending, for this to continue to go up in price, it has to break through this resistance here. Okay, so now that gives me a chance to back up to maybe the 6 hour here, where I'm talking about, or maybe in the 12 hour. Okay, so right there, so it's really testing this line, which is also where this high is. So it has to not only break this line, but also go above this high. Okay, so it has to break this trending line, go above this high, which ironically is also the next resistance. Okay, and it's going to have to do this within a couple, it's a 12 hour period, at least a 48 hour period here. It's going to have to reach this resistance, and it's not over yet. It's still in a downtrend. So once it reaches here, it has to also break through this resistant line, and to make sure it's not a false, uptrending signal, not only does it have to break this top resistant line, but it also has to go above this high as well. So as it breaks up, if it does break through up this high, up to, let me see here. Oh, if it breaks above 1100, Man, it's back to an uptrend because it's broken out of this downtrending line here, as you see, downtrending line, and it's back to an uptrend. And the next test would be this high, which is what, around 1200 or something, 1250. It would be retesting that high, and then also possibly shooting even further. But right now, I'm seeing a channel here. There's going to be a lot of resistance into doing that, breaking above that mark. So just be wary. If it does break above that mark, you're good to go long. All right. But I'm still seeing a downtrending. If you see this main downtrend here, I'm still seeing this as a downtrend. Again, it's not confirmed yet because I do need a lower low than this low right here. So I need to get a lower low, this low, and it's a confirmed downtrend. This has to break above this and this right here to continue on an uptrend. Otherwise, this just may just go back and forth on a very, back and forth between these two, these two lines here, and I'll just be going in a triangle for a very long time. Anyways, I guess that concludes this episode. Hopefully that's not too short or wasn't, too long either. So until next time, I guess tune in. Thank you.